Here we are with Zuzu to make the pattern of a 10 panels corset. The measurements we'll be using are the bust, the waist, the small hip, bust spread, under bust to waist length, small hip to waist length, and waist to thigh while sitting. That means using a flat ruler from the waist to the thigh while sitting, because if you make the corset too long, you won't be able to sit down. Today we will not talk about ease, but reductions. As a guide, reduce the waist by 5 to 10 centimeters. Of course, you can reduce more, but remember that it would be pleasant to be able to breathe. Moreover, if it is really too tight, it will show on the face.
Don't harm your little body. You are so beautiful. It's true.
Then reduce only between 2 and 4 centimeters for the bust and hips, no more. Why? Reducing the waist is something, but if you tighten too much near the edges, what you squeeze will have a tendency to overflow in the most unflattering manner, especially under the arms and in the back.
Here we go.
You need your basic block pattern and your measurements. Start by bringing the back and the front close together, keeping straight horizontal lines with a long ruler. According to your morphology, your bust lines will meet first, or your hip lines will meet first. It doesn't matter which. What is important is that we will use the greatest measurement to calculate the panel's width. In our example, the bust is the fullest. Delete or ignore the dots under the bust line, including sides. Draw the underbust line, draw the small hip line, and also the maximum length, the one which will allow you to sit down. Remove the lacing area at the back, but bear in mind that this is not a reduction as such, since this space will be used by the lacing cords. For a 5 cm lacing, I removed 2.5 cm, since we work on a half body. Now we need to double the bust dart, the easiest being to use a protractor. We can see immediately that on bust level, the width of the first front panel appears naturally. Mark A. Measure from A straight to the lacing line in the back. Divide this measurement by 4. And yes, we do have our 5 panels. The edges of the front and back must remain straight. This means that for these panels, the reductions will lean on the edges. For the other 3 panels, we will need a central axis. Now let's do the calculation. Remember that we are working on a half body, so we will handle half measurements. And remember that we will use the fullest measurement. As far as reductions are concerned, we will use these values. To make it simple, I chose to use a table which reads from right to left in order to match the drawing. So, half bust measurement, subtract 1.5 cm, 42 left, minus 10 already in place, 32 left, divide by 4. On the drawing, we have this. The waist now. To the half waist measurement, subtract 3.5 centimeters. 25 left, but here we divide into 5 equal parts. And that's what we get on the drawing. Same thing with small hip. Subtract 1.5 centimeters, 35 left, also divided into 5 equal parts. And that's what we get on the drawing.
Hey, did you think about making a free table for our friends?
Yes, my little darling, it's on the website. Now mark the dots and link them. Remember to smooth the lines. Et voilà! Obviously, this is a basic recipe. Feel free to change the width of panels to your preference. Just keep in mind that in the back, for example, you will have to make allowance for eyelet strengthening. Most of the time, you have 2 bones and a row of eyelets in between. Therefore, the back portion at waist level cannot be less than 5 centimeters. That was easy, don't you think?
Yeah, not so sure about your English.
Should you have any questions, Zuzu will be delighted to help, won't you, Zuzu? Once you get familiar, you will find it easy to create new shapes and break the rules. So, have fun! À bientôt!
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe.